All right, we got the iPhone 14, 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max, and we got the Apple Watch Series 8 now. Time to take a look at the brand new AirPods Pro 2nd generation. All right, here they are. And you know what? They look remarkably similar. In fact, if we take a close-up look, there is a slight difference here. They've moved these vent holes just ever so slightly. So if you look close enough on someone, you might be able to tell if they've got the new ones. But in the ear, remarkably similar again. So you've got the same look and style with the AirPods Pro. So you can see the shorter stalk, a much better embedded tip in the ear. So let's get the iPhone out and take a little listen. Now I've been listening to these for about a week and they sound fantastic. There's just no doubting. The clarity, there's bass, but not too much bass. And I think that's critical for me, right? I am not a massive fan of heavy bass. But the one thing that's new here, and I'm trying to find the best way to demonstrate that to you, is if you look at down here at the bottom, the volume control there. When I swipe down, volume goes down. When I swipe up, volume goes up. So you see there, swipe up with one finger. So you basically put one thumb behind the AirPod stalk and the finger on the front, and you just swipe down. It's a very small touch-sensitive area, and that's the same area that you squeeze for your noise controls. Wow, it's quite remarkable, actually. Apple said this during some of the briefings and keynotes, that in fact, when you turn off noise cancelling and you're in full transparency mode, it's almost like you're not wearing them. I've got to tell you it's true. Like right now, these are very comfortable in my ear. I've got the right tip. I feel very comfortable about the fit of them. But there's no music playing, and I've got the transparency mode on, and honestly, it sounds the same as if I'm not wearing them, and that's the whole point. So here's what happens now, wearing these like this, is if you walk out into a crazy, busy, noisy area, what it will do is actually cut down the peak of that noise and give you the same sound, just a little bit lower down, so that you're not getting that overbearing, ear penetrating and potentially ear damaging sound. I've got to tell you, it works very well. You don't notice that it's happening, but it is. And that's, I guess, the remarkable nature of it. But the transparency mode is pretty darn awesome. Let me turn noise cancelling back on. And you know what, I haven't tested them on a plane, but we already know Apple does great noise cancelling. So you have to assume that they're double the noise cancelling is an accurate statement. But again, head to head with a whole range of others, it's very hard to judge. These would be in the top class. These would be in the top 5 percentile, you know, like there's not much else you'd choose over these. But Sony, Bose, and many others make very good headphones. So, you know, there's a lot to choose from. And that's a really critical thing about these AirPods, right? These are $400. That's expensive. Very expensive for AirPods. For headphones, frankly, there's Bowers and Wilkins and Bang & Olufsen that are, or B&O, that are a touch more expensive, pretty much based on the brand. But Sony is now essentially cheaper than this. There's certainly plenty of headphones from Samsung and JBL and others that do the same things that are cheaper. So you are buying into the Apple ecosystem here. The lanyard, that's a good thing, okay? People want to have the lanyard control. You've still got the charging indicator on the front, and on the bottom, something a little bit different. Those 3 dots there. Those 3 dots there are for the FindMy. So there's now noise here. So let's open up the FindMy app on my phone. So I've lost my headphones. So I'm going to go to my devices. Let's click on them. Okay. And now I'm going to keep this close to my microphone. Let's play the sound. It's quite a loud sound. It's that normal piercing sound that Apple's created for all their devices. And now that's happening on the case. It used to be that the sound would come from the headphone speaker, that little driver that goes in your ear. It would pierce using that. So now the sound will come from the headphone case, thus making it easier to find. Now, if you have, like I've got here, the case and the buds separated, you'll notice in the FindMy app, each of them individually available. So they're showing there at the EFTM office. And now, if I press on one of the buds and choose play sound, volume warning. So in other words, don't have them in your ear. Let's play that sound. Which one's the left bud? The other one. Yep. So a little sound there. And that's really soft, which is why you should leave your headphones in the case, always. But look, in the ear, they're a great fit. There's now an extra small tip if the tips weren't the right size for you. And look, I think that in general use, that they've improved greatly. Spatial audio is now personalized, and that happens using your phone. You take this really weird photo, so it asks you to take a photo, and you've kind of got to hold your phone beside your head there, and it takes a true depth image of your ear. I actually thought it would be like an in-ear shot like this. You'd have to kind of get an ear canal shot, but actually it's just it's just a wide shot of your ear, and somehow they make a personalized spatial audio based on that. I don't know that I've noticed a difference, I'll be honest. But if you're an audiophile, maybe. But it's cool. And spatial audio itself is phenomenal. And you should definitely try some of that. And the key thing there is, if you're listening to a performance, the performance is in front of you. If you turn your head, the performance stays over there. It's remarkable, okay? But remember, there's no other adjustment available on the AirPods. So you can't adjust the EQ settings for yourself. They're not that personalizable, and many other headphones do have that feature, and I think that is something that Apple lacks a little bit. The on-screen appearance is the same as it was before, obviously, showing you your AirPods. But get this, if you personalize the case with a Memoji, that will appear here on the screen. I don't know how they do that, but that's pretty darn awesome. Now, 2 times the active noise cancelling, personalized spatial audio, and the battery life is improved. I think they say 6 hours in the ear, noise cancelling on. That's good, but it's not great. There are definitely better battery life earphones out there. So, like for like, if you're ranking them, the AirPods don't come up trumps. But honestly, when are you ever putting these things in your ear for more than 6 hours? I mean, it's madness. You put them back in the case, they get a quick charge, and they're ready to go again. I think it's mad to really expect more than 6 hours, but you've just got to know there is better out there. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. So new touch controls is probably the most important new feature. I can't believe Apple hasn't had that before now. Touch swipe controls for volume, no brainer. So the number of controls that you've got is critically improved, and the volume control is an important thing for me. The new ambient pass-through for the transparency mode is sensational. The battery life is improved, but still not class leading. Now in the spatialized audio mode, in the menu, you've now got head tracked, fixed and off. So if you want to go with the head tracking or the fixed, you can just choose that in the menu straight away from the control panel, which is pretty cool. And when you're in the general settings of your iPhone under Bluetooth, the phone actually now has a whole setting menu in the settings. So you just click on settings, and there is now, you don't have to go into the Bluetooth now. There is just a setting there for your headphones, which shows you everything you need to know from battery life through to your transparency mode and what other kind of controls you want to have. Now in the menu, you can choose what the long tap on each ear means. So the long tap can be noise cancelling or Siri, but then the simple squeeze gestures to skip forward a track and skip back a track work beautifully as they would on any other set of headphones. So all the controls are now there. I've got my volume control now, which you get used to. It feels clumsy at first, but it's pretty much a no-brainer once you get used to it. And obviously that occurs on either side as well. So the only customization of each ear tip is whether the long press is noise cancelling or Siri. That's not a bad thing. They're fantastic. They sound great. They look great. The swipe controls are a big winner for me. I wouldn't upgrade from the previous generation unless volume was a massive concern for me, but they now sit very strongly in that top end of the noise cancelling in-ear headphone range. At $399, they ain't cheap, but their compatibility with the Apple ecosystem make them a no-brainer for so many people. You're out mowing the lawns, leave your phone inside, paired with the Apple Watch instantly. You know, if they're in your ecosystem on your iCloud account, good to go. And I think that is what sells most of the AirPods. When you're deep in the ecosystem, these are the perfect headphone. Great little enhancements and upgrades, and technology-wise, a reasonable leap forward for the AirPods Pro. Full details, full review at EFTM.com.